All right, let me put myself on here. Let's see if we can get a gallery going here. Okay. All right, let me put myself on here. Let's see here. I think we got too many things happening. Let's see if we can get a gallery going here. Okay. All right, let me put myself on here. All right. Okay, got rid of that. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the Poets Lounge. I am your hostess, Paulette Henson, and I am super excited to welcome you all this evening. We are live. We have several poets already ready to go. And so as we get started, I'm going to kick it off. And this is a reading from Chantel Crowell, and it's called We Are the Revolution. We are the revolution. Stand tall, stand proud, keep your head high, and reach for the sky. We are the revolution. We have come a long, long way from the slave ships to the cotton fields to freedom. Sweet, sweet freedom, I must say it came to us in the most peculiar way. We never thought it could be the land of victory. We are the revolution that has risen to the top and still climbing high to unbelievable heights. We are the revolution. We are like a train that can't be stopped at full speed ahead. So move aside, please. Let me walk my walk and talk my talk, for my words are my own. I don't need a microphone. I will speak loud and clear so I know you will hear. We will rise to the top, so have no fear. My feet and my heart will lead the way. I'm sure I will go my own way. Rest assured, we will meet again, and you will be amongst friends. Watch your step and walk the right way. It will take you a mighty long way. Stand up, stand up straight, and don't ever fall. You have a chance to do it all. We come and go as we please. Let us through and be at ease. Listen to the children, and they will say, I want to go the same way. Teach them all you know and the right way they should go. Lift up your spirit and let it roam. We hear our ancestors calling us home. Back to the land from which we came, back to the land that paved the way, back to the land we call our own, back to the land we will never be alone. Freedom wasn't free, it had to be earned. Freedom wasn't free, so our things had to burn. Up in the sky, we look to see how far we will fly. Our strong hands hold us up high. Our voices lift the sounds to the Most High. Don't ever forget the people that paved the way, because that has taken us a mighty long way. Never forget to say, we are the revolution. Peace and blessings. And that again was written by Chantel Crowell. We are the revolution. So thank you, Chantel, if you're watching. Thank you for that piece. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our next poet. Who would like to go first and take the stage? Is that going to be, who is that? Okay, Kiana, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Keyanatarsat, Kiana the artist. I go around the world to tell my story to every girl, for every boy, for every woman, for every man. I'll go around to tell my story all in one. the attitude of character to visible love to unspoken word. I'm the artist. I'm the artist. He believe in God, believe also in me. I'm a woman. I'm a woman. I'm a woman with faith, with God, what matters to me, what falls in place, and never to justify what you can become. Every day is a new day. Every day is a bright and sunny day. I tend to be with my friends and become even more. My deepest fear is to believe in yourself, to judge me because I am black. This moment of speech. Now walk in my shoes, now walk in my shoes, now walk in my shoes, now walk in my shoes. My naysayers can't say what to say about you because I am somebody, because I am somebody. To the natural hair, to the natural eyes, look at me. I'm natural. Success determines you. Is this mic on? Can I have your attention, please? Words and reality. So why I'm here? Because I'm the next generation. Thank you.
Nice, nice. That was beautiful. So, tell us, what was your inspiration when in preparing this piece?
This beautiful piece comes through most of my poems, and I corroborated with one poem. So
Nice.
what inspires me is to not just for one, but to corroborate it with many.
Yes, I love that. It's very artistic. I love that. Well, thank you for sharing that. Okay, Miss Nia.
Hello, everyone. I'll be sharing a poem titled I Am the World. I have become your idol, screaming, you'll do what I do. As long as you're imitating me, I will trick you into believing you're free. Introducing you to strangers who you'll call your peeps. Acquaintances with wolves, pretending to be sheep. I'll have you questioning your purpose, making you feel like you're worthless. I'll be that gold, feeding your very souls. False truths, placing every desire of the flesh in front of you. My job is to leave you shattered, broken, and empty. So no matter how much he calls you, what you'll think you need is me. I am the opposite of God's love, grace, and his mercy. I hate all that you are and all that he says you will be. I am the world. That's it.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Was that to somebody, or did you like, how did you come to that? I think it's really cool, like people put words together and it has to originate from somewhere.
Mhm. Yes, I was asked to actually teach. It was on a phone call that they do every Thursday, and my pastor she asked me to teach on a specific lesson that month, and every she incorporate my poetry with the lesson. So every lesson I taught that month, I created a poem for that lesson.
Oh,
I
wow.
took all the poetry that I created and I made a journal called Being Intentional, Purpose Driven. So the poem comes out of my journal that I created.
Nice. I love that. And so, that's something that I just want to pose that question. It Most poets, they will create a journal. Is that correct? And then just start writing the words in that journal. And it's like your own little private space where you can just unleash all of your poetry just right out of your head, right?
Yeah, for me, I started writing poetry and I was about 14. I
Mhm.
was in fourth, and so it
Wow.
was a way for me to get out all the feelings and everything that I was going through. When you feel like nobody's listening to you. So one day I took a notebook and I just started writing, and what I wrote, turned into poetry. So it was a great outlet for me, and I've just held on to it then. I've never stopped.
Wow. I love that. I had another poet on the show and she spoke about that as well, that she actually, as a child, she stopped speaking
And because she overheard the saying that kids should be seen and not heard, and she took it literally, and she just didn't speak for like years, like 3 years or 3 to 5 years. And so her grandmother gave her a little journal book, and for her to write her thoughts in there, and that's how her poetry came to light. So
Mhm.
our slogan on the show is poetry is life, because it speaks to everything that we go through, experiences, things that we're not able to necessarily share, but through poems, we can put it in a way to where we're releasing that, and then also sharing. So thank you for that. Thank you for your transparency. I love that. So we
Mhm.
are we are still, it looks like it's just the three of us. And so I will, let's see if I can find one here that I wrote. I wrote this poem. It was about when we go shopping, it's Black History Month, and we've come a long way from, times from our grandparents, their parents, and all of that. And so this poem was written about going shopping, like maybe at a high-end store, because you want something very special for yourself, but still feeling those feelings of people watching you, or following you around the store, that type of thing. So um that's where this comes from. In the hollowed halls of high-end stores, a tale unfolds, one that deeply abhors. Black women with elegance and grace enter these spaces, but their peace they must chase. In aisles lined with opulence and wealth, they tread cautiously, guarding their inner self. A sympathy of couture, exquisite and rare, yet shadowed by suspicion, met with unwanted stares, or unwarranted stares. Their presence a statement, a story untold, but racial bias lingers as a story so old. Discrimination cloaked in a veil of civility as they navigate aisles fighting inner fragility. Eyes follow them closely like hawks in flight, layers of judgment, a constant lingering blight. Each step they take watched with skeptical gaze, their very existence questioned in this elitist maze. They are queens of resilience, power, and poise, yet reduced to mere stereotypes, their worth destroyed, their dreams and aspirations bound by chains in a world that stifles, labeling them with disdain. But hear their voices rise, a resounding call, demanding equality so they stand tall. For in their strength, unity takes root, breaking the shackles, dispelling the brute. These Black women, warriors of grace, refusing to accept a society's disgrace. With resilience as armor, they face each day, embracing their worth in the most radiant way. Their melanin, a celebration of beauty untamed, a testament to heritage, their spirits untamed. They reclaim their power, their voices loud. In high-end stores, they rise above the crowd. For no price tag defines their worth. No elitist barriers suppress their mirth. They break the mold, challenge the norm, unleashing a spirit fierce and warm. In unity, they stride, reclaiming their peace or their space, reshaping narratives with style and grace. Black women, resilient, unapologetically bold, defying the confines their stories unfold. So let the high-end stores bear witness. Take heed to the beauty, strength, and wisdom they impede. For these Black women, racially profiled no more, will reclaim their power, their spirits will soar. And so I wrote that because I used to find that happening a lot when I would go shopping, and I wouldn't go in there if I didn't have the money to purchase things. And I was just really frustrated that I couldn't enjoy the same type of shopping experience just because of the color of my skin. And so I felt that I needed to write about it and put it into some kind of words, and because at the end of the day, we all like beautiful things. They may be a little expensive. We like the whole environment of how things are decorated and all of that. And so anyway, that's where that came from. But okay, so who do we have next? We have Kiana. Are you next?
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
All right. This is my children's book.
Okay.
Her name is Journey, and I have a poem. Okay. I'm this little shy girl that's called pretty. I've been called pretty all my life. How I known to be pretty because of the dark skin and pretty long hair? See, I'm pretty just the way I am. I'm this little shy girl that's called pretty, pretty, pretty. A little shy girl that wants to fit in all the places. See, I'm pretty, just am. I'm this little shy girl that's called pretty, pretty, pretty. Hey, pretty, do I wear a dress? Do I wear jeans? See, I'm pretty just the way I am. I'm this little shy girl that's called pretty, pretty, pretty. I'm this little shy girl that wants to fit in all the right places. See, I'm pretty just the way I am. I'm this little shy girl that's called pretty. And her name is Journey. And this is a little girl's book. And the reason why I wrote that book is because for little girls to overcome self-esteem and bullying, I wrote that book in honor of myself as well. My background, I came from foster care. My little background, I was bullied when I was younger. I come from a household um, of drugs and drug dealers. I raised myself at 15 years old and raising my mother's children due to domestic violence and more. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful because one, I think that we aren't told enough that we're beautiful, and that especially as little girls, that we're queens, we're princesses, we're all of those beautiful things. And no matter what is going on around us, we are beacons of love, and we only exude that, but we're not told enough to know it, to really know the power that we have, as girls, as women, and the power of love that we withhold within us. And so I that spoke to me in that way, that all of us, we're going to go through things, some worse than others, but everybody has their thing that they're going to go through in this life. And what it does is it makes you who you are, and that's how I look at things. All the horrible things that I've had to experience in my life, it brought me to this person who I am today. And sometimes that map, it could be a rocky road, getting to that place, but if I don't care who you speak to, nobody's gonna say that they had a perfect life, because there is no such thing. You have to go through something in order to be that person that God has for you to be. And so I thank you for sharing that and being transparent and sharing your truth, because there are people out there that are watching us now, and they're thinking, oh, well, I went through this and I went through that, and I'm like you, I went through some things, that were, who signed up for that? Nobody signed up for it, but it was
No,
part, it
nobody
was
didn't sign up
part of,
for it. Yeah. When I
right.
went to therapy, and when I was younger, I went to therapy, and the world system, medication.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady said, well, you need medication. And I said, okay. And I sat down with her, and she said, you don't need no medication. And I asked her
Mm-hmm.
why. She said, because you have a history of generation curses. And when you
Mm-hmm.
really go down the tree of what generation affects it, that's where you need to break it at. And that's what I had to go through every generation line. So my mom had a history of drugs. You had to go down the line.
Right.
And my dad family had a history of alcoholics.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was 19 years old, I went to college, and I was on campus, and I was hanging around with some people, and I didn't get arrested, but the young lady got arrested because she had a history of it. And
Mm-hmm.
the police sat me down and told me, hey, I'm just going to give you a warning. Just take care of yourself, take you a class, do what you have to do. And so what I did was I went to AA because the
Mm-hmm.
man rescued me.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't, I'll be going down the same road just like my family.
Mm-hmm.
And when I stopped myself at 19, because I tried suicide, and I stopped myself, someone helped me and said no. And I said, well, I don't want to live.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, why not? And I said, reason why? Because I had a horrible childhood life. I didn't have a childhood life. I was raised as an adult at an
Mm-hmm.
early age.
Yes.
So when I got to that breaking point, I knew in myself, okay, you got to figure out how to overcome that. And so when
Yeah.
I overcame that, I looked at myself and said, okay, I have a purpose on this earth. So if I have a purpose on this earth, I know that I'm here for a purpose.
Yes. Amen. Wow. I just want to give you a hug, girl. Thank you for sharing that, because you do have a purpose,
Yeah.
and um, and your purpose is your voice and your
Yeah.
spirit, your energy, and so you are amazing. You are amazing,
Yeah.
and you have a story that so many people can relate to in so many different
Mm-hmm.
ways, So I'm sending you virtual hugs. Thank you
Thank you
so much.
guys.
Thank you. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you
And if
for
anyone
that.
wants to, find out where this book is at, it's on Amazon. Her name
Yes.
is Journey, and she's on Amazon. She's on Amazon for little
Thank
girls. It's an elementary book for little girls that overcome, in this day and time. You have more bullies in school now versus a little bit at home too, because that's mostly what you find it more at home, because their mom and dad probably was bullied when they was younger. And so they pick on them. And so the kids go to a school and pick on other kids. So it's a lot of low self-esteem, low energy. So like when kids go to school, they're being bullied with their clothes, their hair, their shoes. They like, okay, why I'm being picked on. And we live in society like that now, and not just Black people, but it's like all races now. Is every kid is being picked on, or they don't have food at home, or they don't have a clean clothes or stuff like that, because we live in a society, mom and dad doing the best they can, or they live with their grandmother, their aunties or uncles.
Right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. Welcome, ladies, to the show. We've got some other poets that have stepped in. Hi, Tina. Hi, Melina.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, no worries. Welcome.
Hello.
Melina, I'm gonna have you to go next, and then Tina, you're gonna follow Melina, okay? Good to see you. Okay.
Great to see you.
Hello,
you.
my name is Melina. I came in so late. I'm over at my TT house watching my cousin with my mom.
You're so sweet. I love you at your TT house. Okay.
So I'm a newly published author of a poetry book called My Own Ocean of Emotions. I am now 18, but I published this book when I was 17 I think it was like October or November of last year. And the poem I'm going to read is not in my book. It's a new poem I wrote. 1 second. So this poem is called Either Grief or Rejection, Let It Unfold You. Inspired by either peace or happiness, let it unfold you. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear the background?
Yeah.
You can hear the background?
No.
Oh, you can't? Okay.
No, we can hear you.
Okay. When I was a little girl, I felt these things were dumb. Rejection, or maybe self-reflection. I had bad blood, a twisted mind with a somewhat good upbringing. I was beautiful like glitter, messy, annoying to get off your hands. I was in need for second chances or glances. I was obsessed with my weight or the acne on my face or when I'll have my first date. Everybody in my class was pretty. I felt ugly within. I was living a hell in small rooms. I would look in the mirror and tell myself the worst things. I guess saying it to myself would make me, I don't know, feel maybe. Going in and out of my mind. So hating myself was something to do in a way, like which new insecurity will I find today? I never changed jobs. I never changed schools or cities. Everything stayed the same. I hated the same, but how when I hate change? I hate parties. I don't like to drink or smoke. I don't swear. I like to be alone. I hate to feel alone. I hate large crowds. I don't like when people eat and drink at the same time. Oh, I hate yellow lights. I hate onions and bell peppers, mushrooms and olives, zucchini and spinach, pineapple, strawberries, watermelon and cherries, blueberries, raspberries. Fresh flowers were dumb to me. They're just gonna die. I was used to people leaving, either being mentally checked out or physically not here. But as I went on with my grief and depression, rejection and self-reflection, anxieties, I realized I wasn't different. I was the same. I was never alone, even though I felt every ounce of pain. I felt hatred towards others that were happy just because I was so sad. But happiness is a fake. People can smile all day but feel the worst of worst. How do I know that I'm truly happy? And don't get me wrong, I've had happy moments, but they don't last for long. It's either I'm okay or I'm not, and when I'm not, I feel alone. Cautiously, I've allowed myself to feel. I've allowed myself to feel good at times. I found moments with peace, with weird memories, a random family at work, a man walking his dog, live poetry, people talking to me, creating memories, just staring at the same piano I've never learned to play. The less the worry, the better I felt. And maybe in another life, if I was made perfect and I didn't have any flaws, I no longer found glamour in making myself feel bad. I could never accept life as it was or as it is. I could never gobble down its own poisons. But the magic parts in my life are open for the asking. A reformulated paper with no direction, no path, no pencil, no paper, just ink. And the ink was so visible to me. For once, I didn't have to prove to myself who I am and what I am, what I love and who I love, what makes me me. I didn't have to prove anything. I began to see things, other people's sadness and madness, frustration and rejection, self-reflection, anxieties, depression. I began to hear things. My mom and dad laugh, even in the pain, in the worry, in the money situations, we were beautiful. Even in the dysfunction and assumptions, we were beautiful. I began to feel good in the worst situations, and there were plenty of those. Like I say, life is like your own TV show. Just keep adding more episodes to it. I've entered a world once more, drove past the houses that were once vacant, filled with memories that are now taken, prohibited in my mind. I tried to deny that it hurts, but they're gone now, and I can't bring them back. I have to live with the memories that I have. So I drive past the houses that are full, but still empty. And I've missed so many days in my room, wishing to be different and desiring to be someone else, when all in the end, I could just be myself.
Woo! Wow.
I didn't even know my mom was right there. But yeah, that's the poem.
Wow.
Thank
That
you.
was amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I was lost in it. I was gone with you. And I was feeling a lot of that too. Wow. So where did that come from?
Um, it is this okay. So it's this movie called Beautiful Boy. And in the movie, this poem, either Peace or Happiness, Let It Unfold You, was in the movie. And I was like, this is such a beautiful, raw poem. Like, it needs more like recognition. But the poet passed away. But his name is Charles Bukowski, I think, or Charles Bukowski. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Okay.
But yeah, his poem is really beautiful. And it's just talking about the ups and downs in life and like his journey to like find himself as a young boy. And like yeah, I just felt inspired by his poem, so I recreated it. And mine's is called Either Grief or Rejection, Let It Unfold You. Because all my life I've always been feeling rejected or going through grief. Like I never felt like accepted, like in the like learning how to love myself and like how people perceive me and how people treat me. So
Yeah.
that's why I put it as that.
Wow. I love that.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. So we
Hey.
have a couple of poets that have came in the room, and so we welcome you all. I just want to give a quick little blurb that this is the Poets Lounge, and we also we have a magazine, which is BWA Magazine, and BMA Magazine, which is Black Men Authors and Black Women Authors. We also have a Kids Lit magazine, which is for children's book authors. So if you have children's books, if you have written a book that you want to promote in any one of our publications, please put your email in the chat. Futuristic, I am working on a publication that's going to include poetry, and it's going to be all about poetry. And so I invite you, especially if you don't have a book, you can you publish your poetry in this magazine. And the whole idea is to build you up as an author, writer, poet, and get your pieces out there. So without further ado, I'd like to bring to the stage Miss Tina Jackson. Hi, Tina. Thank you and welcome. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Yes, we're glad to have you. Happy New Year to all of you, and also happy Black History Month to everyone. Hope you're kicking off this whole month with especially some good poetry, but just a reflection of how beautiful, strong, and amazing people that we are, no matter what anybody says or whatever their projection, perception, we are the bomb, okay? So with that, Tina, go ahead and give us some poetry.
Okay, so before I read my poem, I just want to encourage the ladies, definitely connect with Paulette. I'm in her magazine. I made the cover of it's an amazing piece of work, and you will get exposure, and like wherever I go and I tell people that I'm in this magazine, they're just blown away. So it's definitely worth the money.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm actually gonna read a poem called Dummy Dodo Bird. Constantly called dummy or dodo bird, tears stinging. I guess it's better than being called the B word. I'm not a dummy. I'm smart and funny too. But you can't see that because you don't like me, true. How can I believe in me with all the hate you spew? Mommy, you Mommy, you brought me into an asylum. Every day so glum, a place of hate, no room to think or pray or meditate. My childhood was hell every day. It was the same. I took all the blame. Beaten so viciously, all my hair cut off like a boy. No earrings or pretty dresses to wear. All the elderly ladies did was point and stare. I'm so sad. All I want is her love, but all she does is rip and tear, brutalize me to the ground. I wish I was a pretty white dove. I'd fly away so far. Maybe one day I'll become a star. I'd fly away from all the hate and evilness. You tried to stifle my light. Felt like I had been shot with a 10 gauge rifle. Why bring me here just to treat me bad? You say you hated my dad, but you laid down with him and made him your choice. I suffered for your sins and I had no voice. How dare you hate me for my father's sins? How can us kids win? You've dimmed our lights, but hold up your chin because God says, I will never leave you nor forsake you, and I will win this fight, Mommy.
Mm, wow, that was deep. Wow. So talk about that, Tina.
So it actually feels good to talk about it. So growing up, um, my mother was just a very angry person. Now that I look back on it, I think maybe some mental issues was there. I really don't know what it was, but she was a very angry person, but it seemed like she was only angry with me. So I just got the brunt of everything. I had to clean all day. I couldn't really go play. I couldn't have friends. It was just horrible. And the name calling, when you're a kid, you're impressionable. So you're supposed to be lifted up and edified and made to feel that you can be great and do great things. And when you're constantly put down and ridiculed and you feel all that hate, it actually like stunts your growth.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why at 15 I became a drug addict.
Mm,
But I just thank God for the Lord Jesus Christ for delivering me from drugs and alcohol. I had overdosed 2 times, and 2 times he brought me back.
wow.
And it's to tell my story. And I just want to say that whoever's been abused by their parents, don't medicate yourself with drugs because that's not the answer. All you're doing is hurting yourself again. You have to find an outlet, whether it's exercise, whether it's poetry, whether something you have to find that will help you. And so I thank God for poetry and for being able to write books and everything. And just want to say real quick, my book, Love Don't Hit, is on Amazon. And when you finally have a voice after not having a voice, it's just absolutely incredible.
Yes. Yes, I totally agree. When it's everything comes out, because it's like the gate is open and now you have so much to write about, and you're blessing people. You're blessing people because your own personal experience, it just makes it that much more intense to the listener, because we feel you. And so you know thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you. You are beautiful, you're amazing, strong, and all of those things. I'm just going to speak on this for a moment. Everything that happened in the past, it good or bad, it's a foundation. And this is how amazing God is, that he can take you from wherever you are and turn you into somebody amazing. And so that's already inside. And so that's your words, they speak mountains. And so you're a testament to that. Because looking at you now, no one knows,
No,
no one knows. So
they can't
thank
even believe it.
exactly. They can't believe it. They're like, oh girl, you just talking, so
No.
thank you for that. Okay, so we have next Kristen. Hi, Kristen, welcome.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Sure, sure. Okay, so go ahead and give us some poetry.
Okay, I'm going to read a poem from my new book, Poetry and Poetry.
Yes, I love that. Poetry and poetry. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
This piece is called Roots and Wings. I am both the oak and the eagle, grounded and soaring, simultaneously existing in two states of being. My roots run deep into ancestral soil, drinking wisdom from those who came before. Their struggles water my growth. Their triumphs are the nutrients in my earth. But these roots, they aren't chains. They're launching pads disguised as anchors. See every branch that reaches skyward is a testament to their foundation. I've learned to dance with the wind while keeping my core steady, learned to bend without breaking, to grow through concrete circumstances. Some days I'm all roots, digging deeper, questioning further, finding strength in stillness, power in patience. Other days I'm pure wings, breaking through comfort zones like dawn through darkness. Each failure, a feather that teaches me how to catch the next current. The secret is this: you need both to become. Roots to remember where you're from, wings to reach where you're going, and in between heartbeats of fear and freedom, I've discovered something profound. The higher I fly, the deeper my roots grow. This is the paradox of personal growth. You must be firmly planted to truly take flight. So plant me in purpose. Watch me split the sky. I'm both oak and eagle, finally learning how to thrive.
Wow.
Wow. That was amazing. I love that. That's so inspirational.
Yeah,
Wow.
thanks.
So tell us about how you got to that. What were you feeling because that was so needed.
Well, honestly, this was just a poetry prompt that I came up with. Because I wanted to make my book. It's basically just about poetry prompts. So this whole book, Poetry and Poetry, the back of the book, it just says, in this enchanting collection, words take root and grow like saplings, reaching for the sun. Poetry and poetry weaves together the natural and literary worlds, exploring how rhythm and nature mirror the cadences of verse. Each poem branches out from the last, creating a canopy of interconnected thoughts. So it's basically just, my life experiences, and then just different things I've been through, and finding my voice. Yeah, just putting everything together.
Yes, nice. I love it. Well, you're doing an amazing job. I love your work. A little bit about Kristen. He has a website. He has some beautiful art and words on canvas that you can use for, to decorate your home. Absolutely amazing. So make sure you share your website in the chat so that, our poets can visit and check it out.
Okay. Also, too, I want to share two more things. So I do teach poetry workshops. I could do either Zoom calls or Instagram Live for like all my followers to watch it if they can't get on the Zoom. And the second thing is, I have my own brand of glasses for poets, singers, songwriters, rappers, other artists. They're right here if you can see them.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
neat.
They're called Soul Specs.
Okay.
Yep. So if anybody's interested, just send me. I'll put my email down. You can just send me an email, and then I can get you a pair made.
Wow, that's neat.
He's
Very
doing big
cool.
things.
Doing big things. Wow, check you out. Well, thank you, Kristen, for sharing that. Okay, so who is up next? Let me see. Do we have it? Is it Nia? Is it your turn? I think it is.
Everyone. I'll be sharing. So this is my journal, being intentional, purpose-driven journal, and the poem that I read comes out of it. It's called "The Condition of My Heart." Is my heart pure, untarnished, or is it damaged, wounded, plugged with emotional waste? Have I allowed people and circumstances to dry, pulse rigid and slow, not enough strength to ease out a cry? Have I put up walls barricading my most vulnerable parts? Have I allowed it to become so cold a shock to even give it a start? Issues linger underneath all of that unguided anger. Or is it that mean street that leaves my heart weak? Am I on an emotional roller coaster ride? Or is my confusion due to me being double minded, not able to pick a side? Lord knows my heart, but that could be the problem from the start. I can't hide from Him what lies within. So it's time to do this over again. Dear Lord, create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit within me. And I know in supplication, with consistent meditation in your word, I'll be free.
Wow, I love that. That was beautiful, Nia. Nice, nice. So you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yes, so that is a poem I wrote. I think I realized that that was where I was at in my life. I allowed a lot of like trials and tribulations to make me very kind of just rigid,
Mm,
out of to protect myself. You go through a lot of things. My back to the other two ladies that spoke, no parents growing up into the foster care system at a young age. Just,
mm,
learning early that a little girl without a father is, out here going to go through a lot of things because you're not protected.
mm,
Um, and so, just through all, I think when you go through so much trauma as a youth, that when you become an adult, you possible to protect yourself, but sometimes you don't realize those walls you put up is not only trying to protect you, but you're keeping out love where you're not able to love, and you're not able to allow people to love you thoroughly because you're so afraid of being hurt, and you're just, overwhelmed with pain and anger. So when I wrote that poem, my uncle actually was pointing it out to me, was like, I think that's where you are in your life. Like, that's how you really feel. So it just helped me reflect, and I was able to let God kind of show me, bring me face to face with myself and things that I needed to change so that I wouldn't carry all of that pain for the rest of my life.
Yes.
So it was kind of unburdened, you know.
Yes. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that and being transparent, because it definitely, it blesses people that to know that, again, looking at you, you're beautiful, you're amazing. No one knows that you have any type of history of painful experiences. And so you're just a testament that you can go through things and you could come out where you are shining. So thank you. We appreciate you. Yes. Amen. Amen. Okay, so let's see, who do we have? I think the Kiana, I think she's not in the room. I think she may have left us. Okay, so next would be Melina. I think you're up next.
Okay. I love everybody poem. Like, oh my God.
Isn't it amazing?
It's
Yeah,
so beautiful.
it is. Thank you.
Let me see. Okay, so this is in my book. Oh, can you see me?
Yeah.
I just blanked out. This is what my book looks like. I don't have it. I'm not in my house. But it's called My Own Ocean of Emotions. And I have 3 poems, but I don't know which one I want to read, so you guys can pick for me. The first one is My Hardest Pill to Swallow. The second one is She Believed in Unicorns. And the third one is Daddy's Little Girl.
Okay. Let's see. We're gonna choose?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, well, it's up to you. I would say, well, what about Daddy's Little Girl?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say that one too.
So this poem is basically about like because I have a father. He's in my life, but he's not like emotionally present. So it's basically talking about non-emotional people in general, but specifically fathers.
Yes.
Daddy's Little Girl. I'm a lesbian that craves male validation. So weird, I know. How can you crave something you're not attracted to? I crave my father's opinion like it's a drug I haven't taken. Since the age of 10, I remember him coming home after work, me being so excited to see him. Daddy's home, I would say. He'd hug me as I felt numb in that moment. I felt numbness every time anyone shown any affection towards me. I don't know if it was because I didn't know how to recognize love or I didn't know how to respond to it. I couldn't receive the affection of a man that is my father, but why? Why couldn't I feel the love that everyone says daddy's little girls are supposed to feel or felt? I became upset, not because of my father's vacant position in my life to be the man I needed when I cried or when I laughed or when I had my first heartbreak or my own thoughts of sexuality. That 10-year-old girl wanders in my mind like a baby crying on the summer day. As the children play, she cries more and more like the mother or father has ran away.
Wow. Amazing.
Thank you.
Wow, you are so expressive, and your words, it's like you just paint a picture, and I love that you are expressive in that way, because a lot of young people, they don't talk about their feelings, and they hide, they're afraid to express their feelings. So I commend you for using your voice, because
Thank
it's
you.
so many people. You're speaking to people in that are in your age group,
Yeah.
and people that can relate to you, and they're going like, wow, she said that. That's
Mhm.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Melina.
You're welcome.
Okay, so
Great
who's
that you have your dad in your life too. I was gonna say that's
yeah,
important.
yes. And I think, dads, I think that when you talk about them not being emotionally like that emotional type person, that they're more, they don't, some of them, they don't know how. There's a history that comes from fathers teaching their sons not to cry, not to get, show emotion. And so, it's like, well, what happens when they have daughters and they need to show the
Right.
daughters, how to be that person, that young lady. It's like they set that umbrella, so thank you for that. Thank you so much. And you keep writing. Don't you ever stop, because your
Yeah.
words are so relevant and valid, and they speak to, tons of young people that need to know that they can be expressive too.
Yes. Thank you
So
so much. Thank you, guys.
thank you. All right, Tina, are you up next?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So this poem is dedicated to my mom because over 20, maybe over 30 years ago, I prayed for her to have a long life, and she's actually made it to her 90s. So it's called Praying Daughter. I'm the gift, the praying daughter. Do you not know my value? Well, you just order. There's no price tag on what you can achieve when you see the goodness of staying on your knees. The heathen and the atheist can never win because in the end they don't believe. They're like the children of Israel looking for a sign saying we don't see. They don't want to be free, so let them be. Hell is too hot and eternity is too long. But you're but but you're weak, you're not strong. You have a praying daughter and you ought to praise God for her.
Mhm. Wow,
And I
that's
prayed my mom through heart attacks. I prayed her through strokes. I mean, so many things happened to her, and she came out like nothing happened to her.
wow. Well, that's because you were praying. I love
Amen.
that. That's because you were praying. You were covering her,
Yes,
you
I
were
covered
covering
her.
her with that anointing. So, wow, that's amazing, Tina. I love that. There's power in prayer for sure.
Yes.
Okay, so we do have time for one more before we sign off. I'm gonna turn it over to Kristen and let him take us home.
Okay, thanks. All right. Here's my poetry piece. Do you know who I am? Looking in the mirror at my own reflection, I see a face staring back at me asking, do you know who I am? I am a mosaic of sorrow and grace, a seeker of purpose in this vast, crowded space. So pause for a moment, peer deeper within. Do you know who I am beneath the skin, this weary skin? Do you know who I am? Do you know my laughter? Do you know my pain? In the echoes of silence is my truth plain. For beyond the surface lies the flame. Do you know me or just my name? Do you know who I am? For in the struggle, the battles fought, amid the chaos, wisdom sought. I am the dreamer, the lover, the sick, the scarred. Do you know who I am? So see me, feel me, don't look away. In every heartbeat, in every stray. I am the story unraveled yet whole, a vivid tale, a resilient soul. Do you know who I am? I am the whispers of dreams that refuse to fade, the roar of my spirit, unafraid, unmade. Do you know who I am? I am the heartbeat of courage, of love, and of grace, a warrior of hope. I walk tall and stand free. Yes, I know who I am. I know I am calm, chill, come chill with me, roll with me, come connect with me, come correct with me, come vibe with me, come discover with me.
Wow.
Wow. Deep.
Amazing. Wow. I love that. I
Thanks.
love that. Wow. So give us a little bit of inspiration.
So I'm on the train and then this idea just comes to my mind. It's like a little image where I see a person looking in the mirror at themselves, and then like their reflection starts talking to them. It's like their reflection is talking to them, but they're not saying nothing. It's just the reflection talking to them, and their reflection's asking, do you know who I am?
Yes.
Because they don't recognize themselves in the mirror.
Yes. I see. I get you. I get you.
Mm.
You know, it's interesting that you say that because my best friend and I, he'll say something and he'll say like, look at yourself. And so I'll do like I'm pulling my eyeballs out to look at myself, like we can't do that. When people say, look at you, what are you doing? If you think about that, you can't see yourself from the outside unless you're in that mirror. So
True.
I love that. That was
Wow.
great. That was
And
great.
that was a great analogy, what you just said, because we don't see ourselves and that, so how do we even really know ourselves?
Yeah, we're
That's
from we're coming from the inside out. And
right.
people are perceiving us from the outside. So what do they see? They see something different than we see because
Yeah.
we're not able to see ourselves in other perception. And so that's I love that. I love how you
Wow.
put words together. It's like yourself is talking to you, is talking back to you. So that was cool.
Yep,
Wow.
thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, thank you all. This has been an amazing, amazing show. I have enjoyed all of your pieces. I hope that you continue to write your poetry because it's truly a blessing. There's so much that goes into putting a poem together, your thoughts, your experiences, what bothers you, what makes
Mm.
you happy. And so all of that collectively it's a blessing to others. It truly is. So don't ever forget that. And that's what we want to highlight here in the Poets Lounge. We love poetry. Poetry is life. And we're going to keep doing this every single month. And so we want
Man.
to reach the globe with our pieces and our truths to bless others and let them know that they're just a poem away from freeing themselves of whatever it is that they're going through. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for watching. You can watch our other shows on YouTube as well, the Poets Lounge podcast with Paulette. We will see you next month, which we are all moving along this year. This is 2025. And let me look, our next show is on March 7th. So March 7th, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. So thank you all again. Thanks to all of the beautiful poets that attended tonight. We had Melina, Tina, Nia, Kristen, and Kiana this evening. So thank you all for your attendance, and we'll see you next month on the Poets Lounge.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Okay, I'm
Bye,
gonna
everybody.
stop our live stream here.